I want to start by telling you a quick story. An agent I know, let's call him Joe, recently listed a house that needed a lot of work. It was an older home, needed some updating, but in a hot market like this, he knew he can get a strong offer if he just played it right. So Joe does what any smart agent would do. He blasts that listing everywhere. The MLS, social media, investor groups, he wants to get as many eyes on it as possible because logically, more exposure should lead to the highest price for his client. Sure enough, within days, offers start rolling in, but one in particular stands out, an investor who claims to be a cash buyer. Now the offer looks great on paper, no financing contingencies, a fast closing, on even above the asking price. Everything Joe's seller could want. Now, here's where things start to get messy. Joe accepts the offer, thinking he's got a solid deal, he's almost done at the finish line. But then, the investor who seemed eager at first starts delaying. First, they say they need a few more days to wire that earnest money deposit in. Then, they need an extension for their partners to sign off. Then, suddenly, they're asking for a massive price reduction, tens of thousands of dollars less than the original offer. At this point, the seller is furious. They feel like they've been played, and Joe's stuck in the middle. He looks bad to the seller, super frustrated with the buyer. He looks like the bad guy for even bringing this buyer to the table. In the end, after 45 days of headaches, this deal falls apart and Joe has to start all over again. And here's the worst part. Joe isn't alone. This is happening all the freaking time right now. Agents who don't know how to spot the warning signs before it's too late are constantly being swindled by these fake investors out there. I've seen 3 or 4 new brands or companies pop up over the last 6 months alone. There are entire teams of people out there putting out fake offers with the sole goal to just reassign that contract to earn a fee. Most of the time that doesn't work out. They waste the agent's times and they crush the spirits of the sellers in the process and make the agents look so bad to their clients. Most agents don't even know what's going on. So it's not like they did something wrong, they just didn't know how to protect themselves from it. But today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do just that, how to spot these fake real estate investors before they waste any of your seller's time, any of your time, and potentially cause you to lose that listing. There are 5 major red flags that you can look out for, and in each of these, I try to give you a little strategy on how to protect yourself from it. Now, if you didn't know, my name is Brian Daly. I've bought over 600 flip projects here in San Diego alone. I've seen all the tricks, and I'm here to help you learn how to spot them. So here we go. Red flag number 1, proof of funds. This one's super basic. Almost every agent asks for proof of funds, but so many agents are still getting tricked by fake proof of funds. So of course, you ask for proof of funds immediately, and then you get this hard money letter. Sure, that's good, but here's the catch. These are super freaking easy to get. Most of these hard money letters offer these proof of funds letter to any investor who says they want to go buy a flip property, because that's how they're starting to build the relationship. They're easy to get, for one thing. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't actually mean that buyer's gonna be able to get the loan at the price that they're offering you. The other thing is, even if it is real, the investor, the end buyer of this property, is going to need cash above and beyond that proof of funds letter. Most agents, when dealing with a fixer property and selling to an investor, stop at the proof of funds letter. But you need to go a step further. You need to ask for verification of liquid funds to actually close on the deal above and beyond that proof of funds. Or for example, in San Diego, on average, you're gonna need about 20 to 25% of the purchase price in liquid funds in order to close and actually finish the project. 10% for the down payment, another 10-15% for financing costs and holding costs and all that other stuff. So pro tip, ask them. If they give you a proof of funds letter from a hard money letter, fine, that's great. Ask them to show a bank statement with those funds available, the 20 to 25% of that purchase price. If they hesitate and they can't do it, that's a big red flag. Red flag number 2, track record. Another step you could take here is to look at the history of this investor. You can ask them, how many deals have they done? How many projects have they completed? What have they done in the past year? See what they say. But it's easy, obviously, to just make something up on the fly or have a canned response to this question. Here's some things to look out for, some red flags. How they answer is really important. If they're vague and they say they work with a big network of buyers, or they talk about partnering with different entities all the time, that's a huge red flag. Most likely, they're just trying to sell that offer to somebody else and they're claiming it as their own. experience or their own track record, but in fact, it's somebody else. So here's what you do. Find out the entity name they're buying under, and if they say they closed under multiple entities, and on top of just that one, that's fine. That can happen. It should be no more than 2 or 3. Get a list. If it's more than 2 or 3, if they're giving you a bunch, then that's a red flag. But if you get this list of 2 to 3 entities, look them up on the CRS, tax data system, that we have through the MLS. If they say they never actually closed a deal, or you can't find it in the tax system by looking for that entity, you already know what's going on. You don't have to really spend any more time on it than that. Go back to them and say, listen, you're not planning on closing this property. We're gonna go with a different offer. And if they have experience, go a step further and look at that entity name that you found experience under. I know it sounds like a lot of work. It could be done in like 15 minutes max. And it could save you so much time, headaches, and potentially money. If you look up the experience, the track record online, and the entity they gave you actually shows activity. You can see properties that they purchased. Go a step further, take that entity name, put it into Google, and just find a contact number for them. This might not always work. Sometimes you'll just get like an attorney office, but most of the time you'll be able to find a contact number for that entity. Call them and see if you can get somebody on the phone to verify that the person that you're talking to is actually a direct representative for them. Oftentimes you'll find that the person that you get a hold of will have no idea who you're talking about, or they'll be very caught off guard because they're like, well, yeah, I guess I do kind of work with them every once in a while, but they're not a direct representative. So why go through all this? Well, I know it sounds like a lot of work, but the buyer you're talking to could just be giving you a name of a real investor that they've sold a contract to in the past. But then the question is, why aren't they writing up that offer in that company name? Probably because they intend to shop the deal once they get it under contract. A lot of times that doesn't work out, and a lot of times that causes you and your seller to suffer. All right, red flag number 3. This is all about the EMD. Counter their offer with a larger EMD. Most fake investors will try to get away with $5,000 to $10,000. Don't allow that. If they're buying cash, that means they have cash available, right? So counter to a 3 to 5% EMD and make it due within 24 hours of acceptance. Why? Well, because the fake ones usually need time to shop the deal around, and they don't like putting their EMD into escrow before they know who their buyer is. So they'll take every minute you give them to put their EMD in before they put their actual money out of their bank account. So if they push back or say they need 3 days to deposit, they're probably not real buyers. A real buyer knows that their EMD is protected while they have a contingency. If they're going non-contingent, already knows what they need to know about that property and are planning on closing. There's nothing in the way. They would just put their EMD in within 24 hours, shouldn't be a problem. If they don't deposit the EMD on time, well, in the counteroffer that you write, you can also put in there that the seller can unilaterally cancel the escrow if they miss that EMD deadline. Now, you don't have to cancel. I understand 24 hours can come and go pretty quickly, and sometimes they'll miss that deadline, but you might not want to cancel because you do feel like they are a legit buyer. You don't have to cancel, but being able to gives you the power. So no delays and no drama. Red flag number 4, the contingency check. So contingencies are normal in an offer, but here's how to catch a fake investor. If they're asking for contingencies, fine. A lot of real investors will be able to go without contingencies nowadays, but if they need contingencies, that's fine. Just ask them, what exactly are you trying to confirm in your inspections? Now, a vague answer, like, we just need to check everything out, could be a red flag. A real answer would be like from a real buyer who's seen the property and understands like the numbers and how the deal works. A real answer would be like something like, I feel great about my budget, but I need to confirm that the sewer and the foundation are okay. I saw some things that just got me concerned. I need to get a professional in to help me make sure I know what I'm getting into. Okay, that's a real answer. Another example, a vague answer. I need to get my contractor in there to confirm the budget. Well, if they've seen the property and they're putting in an offer and they're a real investor, they already have an idea of what that budget is. So a real answer would be something like, hey, my rehab estimate is $125,000, but I'm not sure about the roof or the HVAC system, and I just need to check those 2 things to confirm that my budget's gonna work. I mean, it's nuances there, but if you can catch some of that vagueness up front, then you know to dig deeper into what they're planning to do with that property. And if you catch them in lies, just run. Like, there's plenty of real buyers out there. Don't get caught in this trap. One really big red flag is, hey, I need to get my partner in there to give me the green light. I promise you that they're trying to sell that deal. Their partner is actually the real investor, and they're just trying to make a fee. Real investors already know what they need to inspect. Fake ones, they stall and they give vague answers because they are using the contingency period to bind and sell that contract to the real buyer. Last, and the ultimate killer of the fake investor, is a strategy I just like to call the no assignment clause. It's very, very simple. It's the ultimate fake investor killer. Just add the following statement to your counteroffer. This contract is not assignable. Any attempt to assign will result in immediate cancellation and forfeiture of EMD. Now, you don't have to cancel, but that one sentence will scare off 95% of fake investors. Now you know exactly how to spot a fake investor and what to do about it before they have the opportunity to waste your time, to crush your seller spirit, and potentially lose you a commission. So if this was helpful at all for you, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. There's more here to come, and I'll see you in the next video.